What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite Jellasator Apoc, and welcome back to the channel where I analyze things that sometimes don't really matter. So I've been sitting on this one for a little while now because I really want to analyze it before I said anything. And don't mind me sounding tired or anything. It is almost 1 a.m. in the morning. Again, sorry if I sound sleepy and don't have a lot of energy. But anyways, we're gonna break down JesssFam and Kyra's little kidnapping situation, where apparently a shady character wanted to do some shady things like kidnap them or something. And yes, of course, I'm going to question things because we are dealing with manipulative liars here. So I want to dive deep and see what we can find. And after glancing at the video, I already found things that don't really add up. And one being, I find it really odd that people who vlog their entire life and their children's lives since birth, we're talking about every moment here, folks, but there seems to be no footage of this very dangerous and serious situation. You know, obviously aside from Kyra's little phone call she had with Oscar, which was nothing. And to be honest, if we're going by his word, it's not very credible. But you would think Jess, someone who doesn't even allow her own daughter to open up a present off camera and without monetization being present, would have something of worth to show, to solidify her story, to make it somewhat credible. But she literally had nothing but her own words, which she has proven time and time again we can't trust it. I mean, remember when she said her kids have complete control over the vlogs and consent fully to what's pushed out, but then her own daughter literally debunks her in the same breath. JesssFam also be the type to have her camera on standby ready to go for all those phone calls and the reactions to her grandmother's death. And whatever you think about that, I think it's sick, but if you think it's okay, let's just put that to the side because that's not the point. What I'm trying to say is that she's able to have her camera ready for those situations, but not this. It doesn't make any sense, does it? She even shoved the camera in her kids' crying, grieving little faces and had like a reaction to the grandmother's death. It's disgusting. It is sick. But yeah, you know, that girl didn't have her camera on her. I decided to leave my camera at the Airbnb this time. We had a lot of fun and a great time until things took a turn for the worst. Sounds a little dramatized if you ask me. I also want to note that Jess didn't say anything at all until after a couple of weeks of her returning home. So she can go on and on about wanting to bring awareness to the situation, but decides to wait weeks until she said something. Mind you, when she did finally decide to speak up, she did what she does best. She did what vloggers do best and only teased and hinted at the situation, you know, much like Kyra and Apoc are doing right now, and was super duper vague on Instagram.
Obviously, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw that last week we had like a girls trip to Nashville and it was a super fun time. I vlogged the whole thing. However, something really scary happened and I don't think I've really talked about it. I go into detail about it on the vlog, and something like really serious happened that like I said, I haven't talked about. So I just want to let you guys know that if you watch the video, it could be triggering. I just want to give you a warning before I posted it, but it will be up shortly.
So I guess bringing awareness to a very serious and dangerous and scary issue is only important to talk about when it can be monetized. I also found it really weird that Jess, Oscar, and Kyra just casually plugged the Just channel. You know, like it was one of those new regular banger videos. But on top of that hot garbage, here's that phone call we were talking about.
Me and Tracy and Jess around the corner of the street with a guy who's a little sketchy. We're walking home. Oh, why is this guy so crazy?
Sounds like a sketchy situation.
Yeah, Oscar seemed real concerned, huh? Now, before we get into it, if you're enjoying the content, enjoying the tea, then consider subscribing to the Jellasator Squad. If you don't, well, I guess that's your loss. Okay, let's see if redheads lie better too.
Okay, I didn't know if I wanted to talk about this.
So she questions talking about a very dangerous situation, a very serious situation, like I said, that definitely should be talked about, especially if you have some experience in it, but has no issue or even questions vlogging her youngest daughter, completely naked, mind you, wrestling with her older brothers and posting it for the world to see. She really needs to self-reflect on her moral compass because it's
And you guys stopped vlogging because we were just like talking and chit-chatting and stuff.
So didn't we establish that she left her camera, but now all of a sudden she thinks she just stopped vlogging because of casual chit-chat? Did we just already debunk her entire story based off of clips that are less than 10 seconds? Who knows? Let's just move forth.
We had something really scary happened last night, and I debated on if I was even gonna talk about this, because I didn't know if, I don't know, I just...
Oh my god, get it out already. It's not like you're talking about sex or anything. Come on.
But after thinking about it more, I think I do want to talk about it and just explain what happened last night, because...
Let's also note that she only explains the situation, but doesn't actually give any information whatsoever, you know, to a very young audience. Kind of weird for someone who feels like they should speak up about it, but doesn't want to provide anything of substance. No tips, no tricks, nothing. Typical.
I have heard so many stories, like you hear on TikTok, of things happening to girls that are out, and never in a million years did I think that was going to happen to me.
But remember folks, she only talked about it after it became monetized. Another thing that sticks out is that she's talking about this all alone, even though she wasn't the only one experienced this. There are 6 girls involved. I know 4 of them were majorly involved over the other 2, but still, there are 6 girls in this group. So why is Jess speaking about this all alone? And throughout this entire thing, that's exactly what she did. She spoke about it all alone, even though there were 3 of them directly affected by this. To be honest, as we go on, you'll see the other women involved don't actually seem like they were involved at all, just Jess. Kyra actually doesn't say much about it. She claims it needs to be talked about, but doesn't highlight it, doesn't do anything. And what I find funny after this situation, they both talk about this within their own cars by themselves somewhere. You would think after this traumatizing situation, you wouldn't want to be alone in the car somewhere.
And I feel like I need to put my voice out there, our voice out there, because it happened to 3 of us last night, where I, at least, am pretty traumatized by this.
Yeah, and Jess is so utterly traumatized that the very next night, she goes right back down to that same area where the situation happened to fabricate a thumbnail for the video, for the clickbait. Both her and Kyra pretended to be like distressed or something, even put up fake police sirens. Not to mention after returning home after the situation, but before saying anything at all whatsoever, she pushed out another video on the JesssFam family vlog channel called Unexpected Taxi and Uber Experience. At 5:30 a.m. I was scared. Where this scary experience was her just not being able to get an Uber. That's it. That's the situation. There's nothing else to it. Nothing was actually scary. And this right here is what makes me question the entire situation as a whole. Because after the situation in Nashville, how can you just come back home and fabricate another situation to make it look worse than it really was? It's like the boy who cried wolf. Have you guys heard that story? The vloggers are the boy who just keep lying and lying and lying about a wolf, which would be the clickbait. But eventually, shit's gonna get real. And when that day comes, no one's gonna believe him or even give a damn. And to be honest, I think a lot of people are at that point now.
But last night, 3 of us, I'm not gonna go into major details, but
wants to speak up about her experience, but doesn't want to give any major details. Cool.
Like, we're in Nashville, obviously, and we had just left a bar. It was 2:30 in the morning on a Tuesday night, for context.
Well, the Tuesday thing was really unnecessary, but here's a little context for you. She says she left the bar at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, right? But when Kyra had Oscar film their little phone call, the time he gave on their vlog was 2:07 in the morning. And if you actually listen to the story, Kyra didn't call Oscar until after the fact of all this happening. Way after, actually. So why are we getting 2 different timestamps?
Because Apoc, 2:30 could just be a rough number.
Okay, fair enough, but here's another question. Why was it that when Oscar showed the phone call, it was only at 17 seconds? It's blurry, but clearly we can see it's at 0017, 17 seconds. So why was it within 17 seconds of being on the phone with Kyra, Oscar was just ready to go with the vlog camera after being woken up from a deep REM sleep? You're telling me his first reaction after waking up abruptly, which by the phone call, clearly that's what happened. You're telling me that he got filled in on everything and picked up that camera within 17 seconds. Actually less. No. There's just no way in hell within that time he was able to do all that and actually comprehend what the hell was going on. That is unless Kyra immediately told him to pull out that camera. But she told him to do that and not actually tell him to what's going on first, especially if your safety's at risk. Oh sis, that just ain't cutting it. Anyways, all you jealous haters, that's about it for now. I'm actually having some more technical difficulties on my end, so instead of trying to figure it all out at once, all over again, and putting myself out of content for another week or so, I'm just gonna cut the video off here and move along with part 2. Obviously, we have a lot more to talk about, and we already have a few things that just don't make any sense when you think about it. Like the 2 different timelines we're getting from Jess and okbaby, or how Oscar's first reaction is to pick up a vlog camera and start recording within seconds of being on the phone with Kyra, on top of not being able to comprehend anything, which was clearly obvious. But let me know what you all think so far. I'll have this part 2 out very soon. It's already written up and ready to record, and I'll catch you cuties later. Okay, bye.